about children going to Sunday school, weren't we?
Yeah.
We went to Sunday school, and because my mother and father went to church and that, so we were brought up really and had a faith. Whereas a lot of the people I met in the army, they hadn't a clue. When we got into the position we were in, that, you know, it was only your faith really, that, well, to me, that kept you going. And of course Mr. Bowers, who was a great help, they allowed him to have a little service. He had a little case, and he opened it up and he had two candlesticks with a little altar. We used to sit round, whatever you could sit on, and had a little service and sang the hymns and that, well, most of us knew. And but one of the hymns I always remember, was a favourite of mine really, was "Abide with Me." Right. And I used to say that from a prayer when I went to bed at night. Well, I'd sort of give you strength to carry on. The people that were ill, or the people that gave up, and were the people that suffered mostly. It was terrible the way they treated the sick and that. A lot of people went to work, and one or two of them died at work. For a lot of the people, they just gave up really. One of the men that were laying beside of me, I can't think of his name, 239 and 241, both of them either side of me, died while we were in the camp. Well, the Japanese were very, very cruel. But the least little thing, you'd stand to attention and he'd slap your face, and every time he slapped your face, you'd bow to him and say thank you. A thing you mustn't do is fall on the ground, because once you fell down, then they'd stick their boot into you, or something like that. A boy by the name of Fisher, he was a harum-scarum. I don't think he'd ever done what he was told in his life. So he was always coming in at night with a smack face or something, marks across his face where he'd done something he no business to. But Fisher, he wasn't religious, but he did survive. And Mr. Bowers come out one morning and said that, "I think this will be your last day at work." We were on parade, and these 3 Spitfires came over and done 1 or 2 victory rolls and that sort of thing over the camp. And in the afternoon, 2 flying fortresses came over and opened up, and all these coloured parachutes came out and floated down to the ground, bringing us clothes and food and medicine and all that sort of thing. So eventually I came home in the Red Cross ambulance. Margaret's sister was standing at the front looking at the road and saw this blessed ambulance coming down the road. Anyhow, of course all the family was there, got out of the ambulance, and there was I chasing Margaret round the blooming path, shrub trying to get hold of her. She went one way and I went the other. Lovely. Marvellous. Marvellous.